The two-chambered heart is observed in A. Fishes, B. Lizards, C. Frogs, D. Crocodile. Now, as we all know, the heart is a muscular organ. Why is it so important? Well, this muscular organ is what is helping in pumping the blood to the various parts of the body in animals which have a closed circulatory system. Right. Now, even in an open circulatory system, there is a heart, but it's a primitive heart. But in a well-developed closed circulatory system, you have a very well-developed heart, which can be either two-chambered, it can be three-chambered, or it can be even four-chambered. Now, we all have a four-chambered heart. But what about the fish? Fishes have a two-chambered heart. They have one auricle and one ventricle. Now, the unique thing about the heart of the fish is that the heart is receiving only deoxygenated blood. And this blood is sent to the gills for oxygenation. So, oxygenation is not taking place anywhere around the heart. Like for us, oxygenation takes place in the lungs, whereas in the fish, it takes place in the gills. So, fishes have a two-chambered heart, one atrium and one ventricle. But now let's look at the other options. Amphibians and reptiles, most reptiles except crocodiles, they have a three-chambered heart, two auricles and one ventricle. And then comes the birds, the mammals, the crocodiles, which is an exception in the reptiles. We all have four-chambered hearts, two auricles and two ventricles, correct? So now let's look at the question once again. The two-chambered heart is observed where? It is observed in A, fishes. That is the right answer. Let's now look at this new question. Which one of the following statements is not correct? It has been highlighted in bold for you as well. Okay, which is incorrect or which is not correct? A, blood circulation happens in closed vessels in arthropods. B, in annelids, the tissues are not in direct contact with the circulating fluid. C, in fishes, the heart pumps deoxygenated blood only. And D, the circulatory system transports excretory substances to the excretory organs. So let's take this one by one. What about the circulatory system on the whole? Now you would have studied in the entire animal kingdom, right from the simplest form to the most complex form. As you progressed according to the complexity and the evolution of animals, there were two types of circulatory systems that are observed: the open circulatory system and the closed circulatory system. Now, the open circulatory system is seen in arthropods and non-cephalopod mollusks. Now, what is the open circulatory system? Now, the open circulatory system is nothing but where the circulating fluid, which we call as the hemolymph, okay, flows from a heart. Now, the heart is not well developed. It's not like a solid muscular organ like how you find in the higher forms, like in the closed circulatory system. So you have a simple heart, but then there are no blood vessels which are carrying this blood to the various parts of the body. So this blood, which we call as the hemolymph, is now bathing the entire cavity of the body, going into all the cavities and directly coming in contact with the tissues. The cavity, we call it as a hemocoel. Okay, so that is called as an open circulatory system, which you find in arthropods. Arthropods do not have closed circulatory system. They have an open circulatory system. But annelids, when you look at annelids, when you look at mammals, we have a closed circulatory system. We have a very well-developed muscular organ, which we call as the heart. So in closed circulatory system, there is a well-pumping heart. And there are blood vessels which are carrying blood from the heart and to the various parts of the body. And from the various parts of the body, the blood comes back to the heart, okay, through these blood vessels. That is called as closed circulatory system. You find it in annelids, you find it in cephalopods, mollusks, and of course the chordates. Now, fishes, they have two-chambered heart, one auricle and one ventricle. And the uniqueness about the heart of the fish is that they are always pumping deoxygenated blood. Now, the deoxygenated blood which reaches the auricle moves into the ventricle, and from the ventricle it goes to the gills for oxygenation. So, yes, the two-chambered heart of the fish is always pumping only deoxygenated blood. Okay? Now, if you look at this, you're looking at what the blood does. Now, the blood carries, first and foremost, from the lungs, the blood is carrying oxygen to various parts of the body. Now, when it reaches the digestive system, let's say the intestine, it is also carrying the nutrients to the various parts of the body. Now, from the excretory system, the blood also carries the wastes to the excretory system. For example, carbon dioxide is transported back to the lungs. Urea, all the other nitrogenous wastes are transported back to the kidneys. So if you look at this, blood is being transported to various parts of the body through the blood vessels. So it takes oxygen to various parts of the body. It takes carbon dioxide back to the lungs, nutrients and water from the intestine to the various parts of the body, and waste like urea to the excretory organ like the kidney. Okay? The circulatory system distributes nutrients from the digestive system, oxygen from the respiratory organs, hormones from the endocrine glands, etc. to all the cells of the body. It also transports carbon dioxide from the body cells to the respiratory system. Excretory substances like urea, ammonia to the excretory organs. So now the right answer, which one of the following statement is not correct? A. This is the only one which is incorrect, because we know that in arthropods it is not closed, it is an open circulatory system. All the other statements are correct. So it is A. That is the right answer. A very interesting question for you. Incomplete double circulation is observed in. Now, what is double circulation? Blood is being transported from the heart to the various parts of the body, back to the heart, and from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart. That is double circulation. Now, what is incomplete double circulation? Well, first let's look at the options. Okay, so incomplete double circulation is observed in reptiles, birds, amphibians, and both A and C. So now let me tell you what's incomplete double circulation. Now, incomplete double circulation is a type of circulation where you see that there is mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Why? Because the blood enters the heart from different routes but leaves in only a single route. I'll explain it in simpler words. Now, when you look at a three-chambered heart like what you find in amphibians and reptiles, most of the reptiles except crocodile. Crocodile is an exception because crocodile has a four-chambered heart. So you have the right auricle and you have the left auricle, and then there is one ventricle. The right auricle is going to get deoxygenated blood. The left auricle is going to get oxygenated blood. Now these are coming from different routes, right? Two different routes. But then, see, the oxygenated blood is coming from the lungs and deoxygenated blood is coming from the various parts of the body. But when it comes into the ventricle, it is getting mixed. That is called as incomplete double circulation. Okay, so you can see this in the solution also. It is written, incomplete double circulation is a type of circulatory system in which the blood comes into the heart by two different routes but goes out in a single route. In such cases, the heart is three-chambered. It has two auricles and one ventricle. Due to this, the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood gets mixed. The right auricle receives deoxygenated blood from the body and the left auricle receives oxygenated blood from the lungs. But the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood are mixed up in the ventricle. The reptiles and amphibians have three-chambered heart. So incomplete double circulation is observed in both reptiles and amphibians. But crocodiles are exceptions to the reptiles as they have a four-chambered heart. Okay, so now this is the incomplete double circulation that you see in all amphibians and reptiles except crocodiles. Now what do you see in crocodiles and mammals and birds? We have a four-chambered heart. Now this four-chambered heart is made up of two auricles, right? So you have the right auricle, the left auricle, the right ventricle and the left ventricle. Deoxygenated blood enters the right auricle. Now from the right auricle, this blood moves to the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, it goes to the lungs. Correct? The deoxygenated blood goes to the lungs. Now from the lungs, the oxygenated blood comes to the left auricle, and from the left auricle, it goes to the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle, it goes to the various parts of the body. Oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood from the various parts of the body comes back to the right auricle. This is called as double circulation, which we see in all mammals. You see it in birds as well as in crocodile, because crocodiles have a 4-chambered heart. Okay. Now that is complete double circulation, whereas the earlier one what you studied is incomplete double circulation, and this is what we just spoke about. How blood is taken from the heart to the various parts of the body, oxygenated blood, and deoxygenated blood from various parts of the body is brought to the heart, taken to the lungs for oxygenation, and from there oxygenated blood is brought back to the heart. So that is complete double circulation. So now incomplete double circulation is observed in reptiles. Is it reptiles? Yes. Is it in birds? No. Is it in amphibians? Yes. So we can say both A and C. This is the right answer. A, B and C alone, we can mark it wrong. So this is the right answer, D. A new question for you. The deoxygenated blood from the heart muscles, that is the myocardium, drains into A, the inferior vena cava, B, the superior vena cava, C, the coronary sinus, D, the pulmonary artery. Well, children, we all know that every part of the body receives blood, correct? So does the heart. Because the heart is the organ which is helping in pumping of this blood to various parts of the body. Now, the heart also has its own supply of blood. It gets oxygenated blood through the coronary arteries, and the deoxygenated blood of the heart muscles, at the heart muscles which we call as the myocardium, is drained into the coronary sinus. Okay, it is drained into the coronary sinus, and this coronary sinus drains it into the right auricle. Okay, into the right auricle. Now, from the right auricle, this deoxygenated blood goes into the right ventricle. Now, from the right ventricle, this deoxygenated blood is carried by the pulmonary trunk. Now, the pulmonary trunk splits into the pulmonary artery, the only artery in our body which carries deoxygenated blood. Now, where is it going? It is going to the lungs, carrying the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. Now, into the right auricle, deoxygenated blood is also brought in from the various parts of the body, such as the inferior vena cava from the lower parts of the body and the superior vena cava from the upper parts of the body. Okay, so the right and the left coronary veins drain deoxygenated blood from the heart muscle, that is myocardium, into the coronary sinus. The coronary sinus transfers it to the right auricle. Inferior vena cava collects the deoxygenated blood from the lower parts of the body and drains it into the right auricle. And the superior vena cava collects the deoxygenated blood from the upper parts of the body and drains it into the right auricle. And then we've also seen how the deoxygenated blood moves from the right auricle to the right ventricle, and from the right ventricle through the pulmonary trunk, that is, splits into the pulmonary arteries, and it goes to the lungs for oxygenation. So now, which is the right answer? The deoxygenated blood from the heart muscles, that is the myocardium, drains into, is it the inferior vena cava? No, this is incorrect. This is B is also incorrect, because the inferior and the superior vena cava are getting deoxygenated blood from the lower and the upper parts of the body respectively and draining it into the right auricle. It is drains into the coronary sinus. This is the right answer. And this drains into the right auricle. And pulmonary artery, what is unique about it? The only artery which is carrying deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle, it goes to the lungs. So the right answer for us is C. That is the right answer. Let's look at this question now. Which of the following statements is correct? Okay, we need to identify which statement is correct. A. Valves are absent between the pulmonary veins and left atrium. Thebesian valves guard the opening of the inferior vena cava to the right atrium. Mitral valve has 3 cusps which prevent the backflow of blood. The opening of the superior vena cava into the right atrium is guarded by the Eustachian valve. Okay. Among these 4, there is only one statement which is correct. 3 of them are incorrect. I'm going to start with the right statement. The only vein in our body which is carrying oxygenated blood are the pulmonary veins. Where are they coming from? They are coming from the lungs and draining the oxygenated blood into the heart. These veins do not have any valves. Why? Because backflow of blood is not possible into the veins because of the pressure that is created in the heart to pump the blood vessel, to pump the blood out, right? So the blood keeps moving in that one direction. So backflow does not happen, no chance of it happening. So the pulmonary veins do not have any valves. Okay, so option A is the right answer, but I'm going to look at the other options as well. The Thebesian valve. Now, this Thebesian valve guards the opening of the coronary sinus. Now, what is the coronary sinus? Now, just as all the other parts of the body has its own supply of oxygenated blood and it sends the deoxygenated blood back to the heart also has its own supply of oxygenated blood. Now, this blood is carried by the coronary arteries to the heart muscles, that is the myocardium. And the deoxygenated blood from the myocardium drains into this coronary sinus. And the coronary sinus drains this deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. And that opening is guarded by the Thebesian valve. Okay, so that's where you will find the Thebesian valve. Now coming to the Eustachian valve. Now, the deoxygenated blood from the lower parts of the body are brought in, collected by the inferior vena cava, which drains the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. This opening is guarded by the Eustachian valve. Why? To prevent the backflow of the blood into the inferior vena cava. And finally, the mitral valve is a bicuspid valve. Point number 1. And where will you find the mitral valve? The mitral valve is found between the left auricle and the left ventricle in the septum, right? In the interauricular ventricular septum. That is where you will find the mitral valve or the bicuspid valve, which prevents the backflow of blood from the ventricle into the auricle. The right auricle and the right ventricle is separated by the septum, in which you will find a tricuspid valve made up of 3 flaps. Okay, so now you got the right statement. Which was the right statement? The only right statement, of course, we are going to look at it pretty soon. The superior vena cava collects deoxygenated blood from the upper parts of the body and drains them into the right atrium. So the opening of the superior vena cava into the right atrium is not guarded by any of these valves. Eustachian valve lies at the junction of the inferior vena cava and the right atrium. So the right option, as we all know, the only statement which was correct is option A. All the others are incorrect. That is the right answer, A, that valves are absent between the pulmonary veins and the left atrium. That is the right answer.